All right, we're live, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Joe is back. He traveled to the moon for a few weeks, so he's back. He prepared a place for us just in case it doesn't work out here. we can head out over there. Um, well, we begin this discussion, and we have these discussions. Sometimes people be like, "You guys just focus on black issues in Africa and all that stuff," because if we get ourselves together, then we can deal with anything else. And so it's all about black excellence. And so we continue with another important questions that we're trying to tackle. We appreciate your feedbacks and commentary and everything. So we start with the first question. Um, insulting the elders who are not doing the right thing effective. Like, so for example, you see social media, we are giving it to some of the politicians, left and right. They're catching hell from domestic and international. And so the question becomes, is this really, really effective? In terms of effective meaning for them to change course and do the things that they promise, or maybe do something to benefit majority of the people in the country. So is this method effective? Like, calling them out. What do you think? Is it really effective? Is it working the way it should?
Effective? I don't think it's effective,
Okay.
but it's a start. You
Okay.
know, we should start holding people responsible. I
Okay.
think that's basically what it boils down to. You know, we got to hold them responsible for what they said they're gonna do,
Okay.
and there's no progress, right? We're
Mm.
actually regressing.
Great
Um,
points.
Okay.
I could say back 2 years ago, yeah, there was a lot going on in Ghana. There was a lot of progress, but now, you hear all this crime and all this stuff.
Mm.
It's getting out of
Good
hand.
point.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
one of my friends was, he's investing in Ghana now. He doesn't know if he wants to. You know, even I'm
Mm.
questioning the whole thing. Like,
Mm.
is it a place where I want to go lay my head every now and then? You know,
Mm.
because
Good
I
point.
I feel safe here.
Mm.
I've never felt like Ghana was unsafe, but now all the stuff that you hear and things that are going on,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, what are the leaders doing? Are they sleeping? We
Maybe.
need accountability. And if that's what it takes, people insulting them, if that's what it takes, maybe they might listen.
Mm.
You know,
Great points.
Yeah. Um. Is if a person is shameless,
nothing you do.
you know, if if they are shameless, I think politicians respect, maybe I'll say two things:
Mm.
removal from office, possibly going to jail, right? Or I think those are the two things that I think they care about. Or like if you affect their money.
Yeah.
So if you're able to cut their money out, remove them from office, or potentially going to jail. In our part of the going to jail is now, it's like seeing a unicorn.
Mm-mm.
It's not gonna happen. Removal in the office, that could happen. Maybe taking their money, that is
Mm.
possibly not likely either.
I don't think so.
Um, so it makes it like it gets to a point that maybe sometimes how they deal with it is to become shameless, right? Because if they are shameless, then you can I mean, what do you say to a person that is an idiot? It's like, it's like nothing. Um, and maybe the insult is maybe the only thing that I see that the insult may do is just to reduce the significance of what other people see these people as,
Mm-hmm.
is to make them like they are worthless. So then people don't have to pay attention to them and put their hopes and aspiration in them and not call them the honorables that they demand.
They want so
Uh,
bad.
yes, and so, but I mean, I mean, the insult is just more for the people, but for them, I don't think they care to some extent, unless if it's going to affect them and
They,
remove them from power.
mm,
So the strategy will be to target these things, money, um, or I mean, jail. You can't do it. Sometimes I think about maybe get the international community together somehow and target the foreign assets
mm,
and maybe target
it's
this
not easy.
aid.
That stuff is not
Yes, yeah, the aids that goes in.
these
Uh,
these politicians have all kinds of, they of course they have the money, so they know how to hide all that stuff. They hire
mhm,
people.
mhm,
Yep.
and so it's like if like Leslie saying, it is you know for a country that's
Hmm.
so much promise, and to that, if you want to offer the country Ghana to any of the top richest country, they'll take it in a heartbeat. Like they will say thank you. They will take, and some of these countries will even trade their countries for Ghana. They will trade them. And so I think the goal is to evaluate, how we deal with these people, and to find ways and means to make it difficult and painful when they're not doing what they need to do. Because as much as they can indulge themselves with the wealth and leave power and enjoy without any repercussions, then I mean, hey, if you can shame them and they can leave with 100 million, yeah, that's a that's a good deal, you know. And so I'm trying to figure it out whether this the
What
insult.
is that? What's that saying? Something doesn't change its colors. A spotted. I
Spotted
forgot. I
leopard
forgot.
or hyena, whatever.
Yeah, a spotted something does not change the colors.
Yeah,
Right? So you can shame them all you want. It's just they're not gonna change. And I like what Leslie put there. She says, Ghana's got a lot of natural resources, yet we have no money and we're broke.
yeah,
That is
and
90% of Africa,
yeah,
unfortunately.
and it's almost like these natural resources have become like a curse.
Yep. Yep.
In other part of the continent, it has led to civil war. Um, and the thing too is like sometimes, I worry about, like you said, you're beginning to look at Ghana in a certain way because nobody wants to work their whole life
Hmm.
to want to have peace and not have peace. The peace that they've worked for, that they should enjoy, to not have this peace.
Yeah.
And so I would say, if you're smart, you have to, even the things that you love, you have to look at it closely and say, listen, um, you know, there's these issues here, and how am I going to navigate around these things? and the politicians are good right now in playing the politics stuff against the populace. But I think at a certain point they will get used to the insult. They will get used to it. Um,
And
because
then
at a certain point they don't mean listen, they don't mean hear
yeah.
it, and so they'll get used to it. But I think it has to be a bunch of things that mixly um cause them to change course, because if you get power and there's no real repercussions to stuff, then most people will abuse it. I think most people will abuse it because it's like if you have to go to work and if you don't go to work, you still get paid. Man, we're sleeping in, you know. And so I think that's where we at. So we'll see over time how much this insult is going to uh, play a part. Because when we grew up, insulting the elders was a no-no,
Dude.
you know. So, but now the elders are now behaving with wisdom and grace and humility that is worthy of respect.
So
And
let me ask you a question now, Tony. You think these people actually, do you think they're trying to start a revolution? Do you think it's they finally had enough? Do you think that they're starting to see through all that nonsense?
I
Or
mean the population.
yeah, these people who are actually out there talking about the politicians and you know, because like you said, we never, growing up, we never said anything. We never insulted elders and stuff. But now,
Hmm.
even the young kids coming up, they pick up their phones, they see what it's like on the other side of the world, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And then they compare their life to, you know, some place like the U.S. And
Yeah.
it's like, why are we suffering so much?
Yeah.
This,
I think so. Revolution. These things. There's certain things that when the conditions are laid, there's a probability that is going to happen when just agitation and just neglect and abuse and just taking advantage of people. Um, there comes a time that there'll be a generation that will rather die than to live under those conditions. That is just human nature. You cannot suppress people for perpetuity. So if the status quo continues, it's only going to be a matter of time that it is going to happen. It may not even start from domestic. It may be from international, it may be outside. And so I think what is also happening too is that you still have a large segment of the population, unfortunately, those who are, some of them are outside the country, who kind of like, they would rather have quote unquote peace than progress, right?
mm,
So there's
mm,
a struggle now between stability and progress. So some people want a little agitation, but they don't really want to go all the way and say, listen, we want progress. But at a certain point, people will be saying, listen, the progress is so minimum
mm,
that we want more progress than stability.
mm,
And that is when, if you are investing there, you started thinking.
mm,
Because if we, maybe it never happens in our lifetime, our kids inherit all these assets. That is the future we left for them, right? And so you have to start thinking about all these things. And so when people even here support certain things, and we still do that tribal stuff
mm,
deep. When they do those things, they don't even know what they are doing. They think they are supporting, they're playing the politics. No, but it's not about the politics, because your party is not going to be in power, and people really think they could handle the chaos until it really goes down.
Mhm.
and then all the people that are running their mouth will be the first to run away. So we are getting to the point that the average Ghanaian should pressure the politicians. Doesn't matter what party comes in power, that pressure must be there to deliver. So we make politics a place to go to serve instead of a place to go enrich yourself and stuff like that. So I think once we get there, I think the country maybe there's still 40% to 45% that's still they are politically rooted. They say, listen, forget it. I don't like that party so much. I will support my guy, even if he's not doing anything.
Hey, yo.
And those are, but those people will die off. Give it about 50 years, they will die off. But the generation like our kids that are coming. So think about it. I always tell people, I said, when our kids when they start going to Ghana, they don't know this life.
Mhm.
Right. So the pressure to deliver is going to be high because they don't know anything else.
Mhm.
They don't know Doomsaw. They don't know that kind of stuff. So if they have something at stake over there, that'll be all pressure. The ones in Ghana, at least most of their life, they've done with this kind of conditions. So they can tolerate to a point.
Mhm.
But nobody knows, man. I mean, look at just what happened in Sudan. Nobody knows. Nobody really knows. And if you love the country, you fight for it, right? You fight for it to get it better, to make it better, regardless of whether your guy is in power or not,
Well,
right? So,
that's the whole thing. I don't think Ghanaians even like. Yeah, it's like a two-party system, even though they have more than that,
mhm,
and it just keeps going back and forth. And for me, a guy from the outside looking in, I don't see the change. Like,
no, no,
I,
same,
what difference does it make
no
with one
difference.
or the other? I don't see a bit of difference.
Yeah,
You know, um, maybe they'll start waking up.
Great points.
yeah.
They'll
It
start
would
waking
it would
up.
take a time though, because it took long time to put them to sleep. It would take a long time to get them out of it. And so listen, if this generation don't step up, somebody will come up and do it. Now this pushes us to, you see this thing. You see why do our own people attack you when you're fighting for them? So you see this happening, right?
Mm,
I don't know. This is so historic, it's so bad. You can go back centuries. All the black people that fought for the race, whether even it was Marcus Garvey, you can go then Nkrumahs, then the Malcolm X's, the Luthers, then and the Queens that fought, Freddie Douglass, and I mean you can go
yep.
in almost every continent, everywhere in the world. You have a segment of our own people that will actually go after them, and that is what makes change so difficult because if it's like if you are fighting outside and still fighting at home, man, that is like a lose-lose situation. You
Hmm.
rather make sure your house or your family is unified so then you can fight outside. And so what do you think is happening? Why is it that even you see that in Ghana when people come up and they say fix the country, want this improvement, and then some people like go there and attack them? What is going on?
Well, they're doing that because they know you're telling the truth.
Mm,
You know,
mm,
especially the
Good point.
politicians. They know
mm-hmm,
you're telling the truth, and they're in there for one reason only, to line their pockets
mm-hmm,
and be rich. That's the only reason why they're there. Um, and like you said, people are asleep. You know, the few people who are kind of are either waking up or
mm-hmm.
woke already
Yeah.
and trying to fight the system, but it's just not enough. right? It's just
Mhm.
not enough people to overcome the rest who are sleeping.
Mhm.
So it's your mechanism to just attack you and make sure that you don't turn around and, like we said, either get them out of office, put them in jail, or take their money away. That's very
Mhm.
important.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
very important.
Great
Yeah.
points.
And because I was thinking about this question, and I think too sometimes one of the things that keep us, what I mean as Black people, from making significant progress is this. Sometimes we spend time on the method, how we are going to fight, and whose method is right, and
Yeah.
we should do it this way
Yeah.
instead of
You're stuck
actually, yes, taking the steps and making adjustment as you go. Nobody has the blueprint how you gonna do these things. So it's
there.
about you pushing from here. It's like a car. You build a tire, somebody builds an engine, somebody get a body, somebody build electronics. Eventually you put it together, you got a vehicle. And so when somebody is saying, okay, I'm building the engine and you are not building the engine, so because you are building the body, then your method is wrong. So when you do that, then you lose focus on what is really, and you see that even with Malcolm and Martin Luther, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. They were both fighting for Black people.
Hmm.
So it doesn't matter which side you lean on. They were both fighting for Black people in the way they know how.
Yeah. Yep.
In the way they know how.
Yep.
So if somebody is fighting the fight, you support that. Okay, you don't have to really agree with all the tactics and everything like that, because at least if the motives are genuine, then you support that. So you see that, and this is why it's and I've seen this, right. There are people in Ghana that would defend some of these politicians, and they have nothing to show up. You see, it makes sense if the politician is defending his position. He
Hmm.
he has a man's wealth. It makes sense. You ain't got nothing.
Nope.
You don't have anything. So why would you defend a government that you go to Ghana? You are at stake for armed robbery.
Hmm.
You personally, because you don't have the security he has. So when we say fix the country, why wouldn't you support that? Because the chances of you being a victim in Ghana is way higher than your
Yep.
MP.
Yep. Like Eric has said it many times. He says that the political system and the way people support politicians, it's like a football match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's who's winning right now.
Great points.
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's who I'm going to support.
Yeah.
Um, I don't really, maybe some do, but I don't think people actually think about themselves when they're
Mm-hmm.
there voting for that person they want to represent them. I mean, you have to think, what is in it for me?
Yep. Yep.
This guy does
Good
not
point.
deserve my vote if he's
Mm-hmm.
not going to do what I
Mm-hmm.
want,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he's there because of you.
Mm-hmm.
And if people start thinking that way, they say, hey, this guy is up there. He's not doing what I want him to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to vote him out. You know, it's so easy for these guys. I mean, Ghana, they have term limits, but it almost seems like there are no term limits.
Yeah, I know Tamlin.
It's
Yeah, I know Tamlin.
I mean, Kennedy Japan, his district, he never gets opposed, right?
Yep.
No opposition.
Yep.
I mean, is that democracy?
No. I was talking to a politician today. I didn't call them. I was talking to a friend, and they put the politician. three-way. That's the first time I'm talking to them. And one of the things that I was saying is this: our president made a comment, Nanato, recently
Mhm.
about a chief in response to a chief making a comment to education minister. Now, if you're honest human being, you could say that our president response was was not the best. Was not the best. So let me put it that was not the best. But even you will see people defend it. And the defense is always on tribal line, like, right? And so I was talking to this politician and I said, this is kind of go back to the first question. What do you do if the others are not doing anything? So my president was, okay. And the question was like, the bill apparently started by Muhammad has been neglected for a school. And it's about 90% completed. They want the current administration to come and finish it. So the new term in February, the students over there can enroll and also benefit from the free education program. So give them to finish it by February.
Mhm.
The president, I don't know what was going on, said that who was he, a paramount chief, to give ultimatum. So if he doesn't like it, he should fix it. And I wish I was the chief. I would have said thank you. A flower border is the second revenue generating place for Ghana after Temahabo. So I would have taken the liberty and create autonomy and take all the taxes. Hey, I'll tell everybody in the region, pay taxes to me, and I'll develop this place. Right? He said he should do it by himself. Right?
Mm.
Because others now, they don't pay taxes to the chief, they pay to the government.
Yep.
So I think that should have been done. So when that thing came out, you still see the people who defend the president for saying that. The least you can say, like, that is not the best response. Right. And the reasoning they are defending him is just you can tell they are perpetuating certain
Just fans.
yes, and stuff like that. There's no justification. It's like telling Biden's administration to fix something and say, why don't you fix it? Okay. Then and so you can see that kind of stuff. And I was telling the politician, I said, listen, the Ghanaians are very, very comfortable. They're not suffering a lot because 3.5 to 4 billion of our remittance is going to Ghana every year. So we are subsidizing some of their living condition.
But Tony, if you say they're not suffering, I don't agree.
Well, you let me build to that point. So I was telling this politician, because when our family members call us, we'll subsidize that.
Sure.
Imagine we cut off that $3.5-4 billion a year. That is going to, so now if they need hospital, there's no money, right? They don't call us for us to send the money. If they want rent, it's not coming. What happens? Desperate. Now you don't need a permit to hit a street. You don't need a permit to hit a street. So because now when you tell people to even hit a street, it's like, man, why would I go there? How am I, I'm just going to rest. You see, so it's kind of like when a human being is desperate, that is all the motivation he needs to do the things that he must do. But if he's comfortable, or if he's not too desperate, it's not going to have them move. And so that is why even when we call demonstration, 3 people will show up and the rest will go home. Because it's not there yet. Because here, if here people get angry, they tear places down.
Yes.
And they will keep burning the place until the government, that local government will start making a deal.
Absolutely.
Correct. Because and guarantee they're not asking for permits. They're just showing up. So because that is the agitation, because it is born on most American, the liberty, the freedom to fight and not be subjugated. For us, we don't have that fiber in there. So it would take some level of real desperation for people to actually stand. And the unfortunate thing, like the people that kind of play the party politics and also the tribal politics, I think they are the enemy of the country
Hmm.
because it shouldn't be above that. You say you've traveled, you educated. Because it's funny. Sometimes I vote different parties. I might vote for Democrat in the national this thing, but domestic, I might vote Republican.
Yeah.
Because taxes, you know what you do if you run a business. So it's different. So you don't just vote the whole thing. You see what I'm saying? So you may not like this particular guy,
Hmm.
but if you think he can deliver in your neighborhood, you vote him in. It doesn't matter what the party is, because at the end of the day, you want that progress. So I don't think a lot of our people are mature to that level because they'll vote because it's party colors. And like you said, Kennedy Japan doesn't have to show up. They'll vote him.
Exactly.
They'll vote him because there's no any viable candidate,
Nope.
right? Viable candidate. And when you have that, that means you don't want progress. And so we have to get to the point and say, listen, if it's true that we love the country, because it's country over politics, then we must pressurize any politician. Doesn't matter what party it is. This brings to the third question, which is, I thought about posting this question, not posting this question. The question was, is fighting for our people worth the sacrifice? If Marcus Garvey to come back, if Malcolm X to come back, if Martin Luther King, if Kwame Nkrumah, I know what Kwame Nkrumah would say. If Thomas Sankara to come back, and all this great Yasser Tua to come back, if they should come back and do it again, this is the question. Would they say, listen, I know Kwame Nkrumah would say hell no because of what they did to him. I don't know what Malcolm and Martin would have said, but I know Kwame Nkrumah would be like, no. And so that makes it question is fighting for a worthless cause is worse than not even fighting at all.
Yeah.
So if you're going to potentially lose your life, lose your freedom, you want at least want to know that it was beneficial. It was worthy of the people that you are fighting for. And so because I think that is the challenge in Ghana right now, because everybody's like, do me. Because it will be a different thing when you go there and you are putting pressure on the government and the government officials are coming after you. That's a different thing than if they're sending citizens to, right? So if you're fighting for improvement for the woman whose life is not any better and she's fighting against you because that's this guy in power, that makes it really, really very difficult. So what do you think? Is fighting for our people really worth the sacrifice? I would like to hear the comments from the from the viewers on this one. Is it really worth it to go there and leave everything, leave your family soon and everything for the cause?
Nope.
Is it worth it?
Not for me. Because the people who are actually struggling don't want to fight. Why fight? Why fight for somebody who is actually living?
Great points.
Doing this, going through it every day, and they don't want to fight. Why should I come and fight for them?
Good point.
I'm sitting here, I'm looking at them, hoping that maybe one day they'll wake up, and if they start, I might join them. But I'm not gonna fight for them.
Great points.
Absolutely not. Nope.
Don't do things for people that they should be doing for themselves.
They should help themselves. And if they help themselves, I will more than be happy to join them.
Yeah. That makes sense, because I think I've said that some time ago on many of our podcasts that The challenge is fighting for a person who doesn't even know the sacrifice you make for that.
Yeah.
And if they don't understand that, then they will betray you. Right. Then they will betray. Yeah. That's right. Maybe that's what I said. Maybe it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not really that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. So like, let's see, only if they stand up. And I agree, they must stand up. Because you cannot, and I'm saying, listen, you in the belly of the beast. You are dealing with this thing 24/7. I'm not. I only deal with it when I temporarily when I come over there. And when I'm dealing with it, I'm like, man, I gotta go back. So I gotta put out with this 365 days.
Options.
I have options. So you telling me to come lead this fight, but you are home.
Yep.
You are home. No, it's not. It's because it affects you. If it affects you almost about 99%, it affects me barely 5%.
Yeah.
But you want me to step up. So I think they will until, and if they're not willing to fight, I don't think it's going to change. I don't think it's going to change.
Well,
And so that is the thing. That is the thing that many years ago my mentors used to tell me, don't do things for people that they can really do. You can explain to them, you can help them, but the ultimate is to have them do it. That is how they build self-image, self-esteem. They value hard work. Because sometimes when you do it for them, you take away the ability for them to find out what they made of, and that is what it is. So it's not about you sleeping at home and somebody going there and stuff. Because sometimes I have people call me, they be like, Tony, we're going to demonstrate. I say, come me out. I say, listen, you're not ready for this. You're not really ready for this. And so that is the thing. Would have been interested. Now I'll bring this question back again on this thing, because I'll hear most of the guests what they think about this thing, because it is almost as if when you don't participate in this thing, that it's kind of like, you are sellout, which, like you don't care. No, it's not you don't care. You just don't like suicide missions. You see what I'm saying? You don't just like suicide. You don't want to turn around and everybody is not behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not even your fight to begin with. And so the people that affects the most, I think, must stand. They must take the first thing. They will have to fight for it. The Ghanaians will, the local Ghanaians on the ground will have to fight for them, bring that change.
Well,
and yep.
Like Leslie said, they are not willing to embrace change. But then again, like I said before, maybe it's not that bad.
That's what I'm saying. I don't no, because you know why? No, there's truth to this. There's truth to this, because when it's funny is when you are outside. I remember when I was in Ghana, and people were telling me, yeah, how's the fix the country demonstration? I was like, what demonstration?
What demo?
I'm like, where? I'm like, I didn't see anything. Like, I was in that crowd the whole time. I'm like, I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything on the radio. I didn't hear anything. It's almost kind of like when you are outside, you hear when you get on the ground,
nothing.
People are like, oh yeah, what Jiwawa Bodam.
It's all on social media. Oh yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
5 o'clock, everybody show up. Crickets.
Yeah, it's like David. Oh, okay, let's do this. Let me see. David, if you can come in, or Leslie, whatever, if you can come in, I'll put a link here. So I'll put a link here. You can click and join if you want to. Okay, so that's the link. The link is right there in the chat. You can click and join. We like to hear what you have to say. And so that is the thing. And so for me, for me, the thing is this thing. Yes, when I read Black history and what we give to the world, it's so remarkable. It's so great. The foundation to a lot of things that the world has benefit. And I don't want those men and women that contributed should be just be written in books.
Mhm.
I want to see them in my lifetime. Because this is what our ancestors, the people that died, sacrificed their life for all of us, Black people all over the world, they would have wished that this generation would have elevated the race
Yep.
and be competitive and to be progress and to be the superstar like they were. That is why I focus more on us, because I think we have a lot of work to do to get to that point. And so these questions are just trying to fix us. Because if we can get it together, you're not even going to compete, right? You are not going to be able to compete. Okay. We're going to bring Leslie here. Leslie, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, definitely. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And so that's okay. So that's Leslie, right? Or
Yes,
David?
that's me.
That's Leslie. Okay, good. David is connecting too. That's good. So, hey, take it from there. Which ones you can take in of the topics that we're talking about? That's fine.
So really quick, I've been listening to you for quite some time now. So I like the passion that we all have on this platform. But my thing is, uh, my parents, or I should say, I live in Community 5 in Tema, right? So I
Mhm.
went home back in 2019. We live in like a little community of maybe one, two, three, maybe 30 to 35 houses, right? It was
Mhm.
a nice development TDC put out for us. About 35
Mhm.
houses, and we live in a cul-de-sac. So, we have the whole corner to ourselves and everything. So I noticed when I was there, when I was growing up there back in 97, 95, 98, it
Mhm.
was amazing. I mean, it was a new development. So everything was
Mhm.
brand new. Everything worked well. Street lights were on. Tony,
Mhm.
I went back there in 2019. I went in 2007, only stayed for about a week, so didn't really pay attention to anything. I went in
Mhm.
2019, and the street lights, more than 2/3 of them were out.
Mhm.
So, being the fact that we're in a small community by ourselves, only one entrance to that community. There's only one entrance, one way in,
Mhm.
one way out of
Mhm.
35 houses. So I, being an OG in the neighborhood, we were like the first 5 people that moved into that community when it was first completed. So I,
Mhm.
knocked on a few doors. Hey, Leslie Waba, yeah, hey, hi. And I said, you know what? This is a quick fix. I'm not here for long. 2, 3 weeks, I'm gone. But with the street lights, we have stable electricity, right? These lights
Mhm.
are out. Anybody knows why they're out? Faulty
Mhm.
wire, light bulb. What is the situation? You know what they said? It began with
Mhm.
Deo. What does that mean?
Good point.
And
What does
probably,
that mean? It began with Deo. What does that mean? So I said, all right, you know what? It's not much. I can put solar on the 2 street lights in front of my parents' house or our house. I'll put 2
Mhm.
solar on top and leave it there, and I'm good, right? I'll let the
Mhm.
the the person that takes care of our property keep an eye on it. Whatever fixes need to be done during the course of the years, months, whatever, take care of it. At least the front of my house will be lit.
Mhm.
So I approached one of the other OGs in the neighborhood. Well, respected guy, and he lived in London for like 40 years before he came home. So I said, listen, we should put like a HOA. You guys are very familiar with
Yeah. Yeah.
HOA.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's put an HOA together. We are the OGs of the community. We've all, traveled, well traveled, pretty established guys. Put some funds in there. Let's get the gutters cleaned up. Let's get the street lights on. That's it. Gutter, street light. The same thing I hear again. Hey, Leslie, who off your bridge by Ghana with you? What does that mean? What does that mean? Tony, I nearly lost it, man. I nearly lost it. So I said, you know what? You, you can't help these people. I'm sorry to say
Mhm.
these people, they're my people, but you
Yeah.
just can't help them. Any
It's the
Mhm.
ideas that you
system,
have,
Leslie.
oh, yeah, we'll follow like, really?
It's the system.
Who after Abrochia Banti with the Unato, Charlie and the Ghana we do. Oh, sir. All right.
Yeah.
Me got to now, Abrochia. Bye. So I just left. I left, put 2 street lights in front of my house, and left.
That's it.
And so today, guess what? Still dark over there in the other areas.
Because like everybody's okay with it.
They don't care.
They okay.
That's
with
true.
It.
It's true.
They
And it's
Great
not.
points.
street lights and gutter. That's it. They didn't ask for much. HOA, street lights, gutter. That's it.
How
And
do
you know people
fight-
want to work. They would do the job.
how
But
do you
the
fight for
community
somebody
just
like that?
didn't care.
No, they don't. And it's not just Community 5. It's even in front of my house, cars were hitting people. So I offered to do ramps. Just ramps, the resistance. Man. Hey, go see this person. Go see this person. Go see this person. I'm like, you see kids getting hit every day.
They don't care.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a big street.
Is
in
it?
front of your house?
Man.
It's a big street.
That they've turned that into a highway.
Yeah.
They've turned it to like a highway.
Yep.
The speed.
Yep.
It's sad.
Sometimes there's a school, right? You know, I'll bring David in. There's a school, and sometimes they had a guy that would use a flag to stop, right? The moment he stopped the trotro, 2 trotters are due overtaking.
They'll do overtaking.
And the kids are crossing the street.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
David,
Hello.
thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. So
Welcome,
take it, man.
David.
Take it. Take it.
Thank you. I'm enjoying the conversation from this side. You know, I've been following you for a long time, and I want to say thank you for all you do. You know,
Definitely, Tony.
I'm sorry I don't have a good lighting here.
Oh no,
and
we
I'm
can
not
see you. We can
really
see you.
set
That's
up.
good.
Okay.
So take it, man. You can take it anywhere you want to.
Yeah, I just want to address the issue we are talking about on a high level. You know,
Mhm.
many a times I've been doing a lot of African reading. You know, just to understand how can I help Africa? How can I help Ghana itself? And I read one book, and it kind of changed my mindset. From that, I didn't even finish reading the book. I went back and then I started listening to what the book said. It said, to help Africa, you must understand you will be their first enemy.
Wow.
Great
And-
points.
If you understand, the moment you have that understanding, then I would want anybody that had come to the States that has that burning urge to go back and help, to take a pause, you know, and then acknowledge what the
Good
problem
point.
really is. So one, I want to give an example. Thomas Sankara. I don't know if anybody knows.
Yes.
No, some
Yes.
car. Yep. Burkina
I
Bay.
was listening to the story, right? And it made me so sad that when he was killed,
The
the
young
only thing in his bedroom was a guitar, was a bass guitar. Now, it's not just him. We saw Gaddafi. We saw many other
Yep.
people.
Yep.
Now, I want us to also understand that the enemy I'm talking, there's an enemy within, and then there's an enemy without.
Yep.
Most of the times, Africans tend to focus on the enemy within, which is our
Good
politicians,
point.
which is as many people that we can count, those people that we see taking contracts. But then we forget that they would only have that power when the enemy without sometimes gives them that leeway. So it's a lot to break down, but I really, really understand the frustration that we all go in. But you need to understand that at a point, Thomas Sankara was trying to help his people to say, let us build together because the black man can also build. But at a point, his second in command.
Campari. Yep.
You see, so when you look at it, why didn't the enemy without take him out? Go back to Libya, Gaddafi, right? Why didn't the enemy without take him out? Who was the one that shot Gaddafi?
Yep.
But the question is, who gave Gaddafi's location?
Yep. His own people. That's right.
So I want us to understand, back in the days when you go to Libya, what was the standard of living in Libya?
Amazing.
Why was
Very
Libya
well,
used to
very
tell me
well.
it was amazing.
Exactly.
Yep.
Why was it so good that people were traveling to go over there? So it brings you to understand that the black man can build. The black man can build a
Oh,
strong
we have
economy.
the will, we have the resources, we have the people.
Great points.
So one other thing that I also want us to understand is when you go back home right now, or even if you call as many Africans in the United States and you ask them, how can we fix the economy? Everybody will tell you they know how to fix it. Everybody has a brilliant idea that they can fix it. And sometimes it blows my mind. I'm being honest. Now, I know I'm talking a lot, but I want to take us back a little bit. In the United States, you see, when we are trying to compare the living standard that we've seen here to Africa, right? I want us to go back and take our time before we compare that a country is built on everywhere is asphalt and everything is built on standards and strong economy. Let's go back and look at something. When you go back into times of slavery, right? The only people that were allowed in the United States to make laws or to enforce them or to at any point in time adhere these laws to any community was the slave masters. And most slave masters, is not all of them that it's not every white man at the time that could afford a slave.
Yep.
So among even themselves, they had to boycott some people to make sure the economy stands, to make sure there's a standard. So
Good point.
it brings me to a point where we've all been given democracy, right? So if you speak, I have to speak. At the end of the day, everybody is speaking. Who's listening? Because you are crying about your electricity. I'm crying about my roads. You're crying about this. But let's go back and see, what is the reality on the ground? Does Ghana really generate enough revenue itself to employ as many people as they're employing or as what they're doing? So guess what? When Akufo-Addo comes on top, before he comes into his presidency, he looks at Mahama and says, Mahama is not doing well, right? We all will talk bad about him. The moment he goes into the office and realizes that we do not even generate anything, you're back to square zero. And out of his frustration, recently, apparently they said the president said something about a can in the Volta region saying that if he doesn't finish his E-blocks, and then the president said he should go and continue. Exactly. You know, he said that out of frustration. People don't understand. There is no money. These people don't have the money.
You know, David, you make a really good point. You make a really good point.
I just want to end, and anybody can come in, but I want us to understand that we sit in this country, right? When they're talking about every contract, they're talking about billions and trillions of dollars. When we hear of Ghana going for a loan, that we are even going to move our natural resource to go and hedge the loan or go for the loan to kind of, it's like I don't know what to call it. It's like when you have an asset and then you put it somewhere to
collateral.
Yeah. We use a natural resource as a collateral for $2 billion. $2 billion because our credit worthiness is not that good. So
great point.
I want to talk so much, but I want to stop here because I know you guys have great ideas also. So I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, you stay on, guys. You know, no, there's one thing that you brought up that was very important. I want to chime in. You see, when Akufo-Addo gets in power, because recently Mahama said it. He said when Akufo-Addo got in power, he saw that was not easy. He said when you're outside, it looks like nothing's happening.
Yep.
So I think too, so there's a couple of things that they could do, right? The money, it's not like there's a money sitting there that it's not, if I'm betting, Akufo-Addo did not inherit a lot of money that was there. It's not the way. So I'll give him that. But when you see the lifestyle of the ministers, right, that doesn't help, right? It doesn't help Like, if money is not in the system and they're getting 75% raise and more vehicles are being ordered into the system, that is very difficult to convince the average person that you need Sika. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be moderate, right? That is where the leadership might come and say, listen, this opulence, right? You can't have party members bring a bar of gold on television, right? So there's certain things that it's like you are a father, right? You tell your kids, man, kids, come here, I gotta tell you this. Man, we haven't paid the rent for like 3 months, but don't worry, we're gonna have a party this weekend. Right? It's not a responsible father, man. You haven't paid the rent for 3 months. Now you want to have a party this weekend. So there's certain things that they do that doesn't, the optics doesn't look good to convince people, oh, you guys don't have money, but we see how you live and how you move in the country. So I would have respected, he comes and listen, yet Tiskaso your bread was something I said. It's not true. Sikano, yeah, the Akoboka. What else here? I think the moment he got in, he should have said, listen, that was not a true statement. This is the current situation we have. We have these resources, 90% are tied for collateral, right? This is what I'm trying to build to get us out of. And the next president, instead of the party manifesto is not good for the country. You don't have a Republican manifesto here. You don't have a Democrat manifesto. They might have some policies they want to pass and other stuff, but when you come, everybody's doing the road. Everybody's doing the road. And so there's certain things that must be continual, that it doesn't matter, like these buildings and the buildings that Muhammad did. And people come, they're not going to do it. If Nanado continues, if NDC come, they're not going to follow it. It's like, and you have waste, right? So there's certain things that I feel like we are not doing to help the situation because we get caught up, like we treat a party like a clique. You know, you're running the country.
Can I interject a little bit?
Go ahead.
I think what you're saying is a little subjective to whatever the situation is. So let me give this example. You know, when Mahama came, Mahama had people that, so this is one problem that we don't know, that if I come and I'm MPP today, I have my connection man that could lead me to loans.
Yeah.
Specific loans. And I believe specifically that those loans have certain requirements I have to meet as a politician that I cannot openly come and disclose.
Okay.
So I think what you're saying, if we had our own money, we could have continued. But I believe that if you look at it, Akufo-Addo came, the NPP came, right? And they said they are stopping Galamsey. But then where did you go for that loan from? It's a Chinese. So you cannot be biased as much as whatever against the Chinese. We still have to find a way to correlate the business between them. At the end of the day, I'm not saying the Galamsey was done by only Chinese. It was Africans that were getting the bids and then they were giving it to them. So there is a way that I cannot understand you that there should be a national agenda. The national agenda is when we say we are managing our own revenue, that we have our own money. But when you go and then you come, they say, hey, the road from Accra to Kumasi is not good. And there's no general revenue we've generated. So in your head, you are going to China for loan. They will have conditions on the loan.
So one thing, right? Look at, I don't even understand this. This mining, right? This mining thing, right? This, you see, my father is from Wasa, so there's gold. That whole area is gold, right? These boys can dig this gold.
Oh, yes.
They shouldn't bring any foreigner in there. They've been digging gold for hundreds of years. Bring the machine in. So the loan, this is what I've taken the loan. I've taken the loan, get the machines, bring them in. The local guys have been digging with those guys, man, can see a gold with eyesight like a mile away. They can smell that thing. They're already trained. No, digging gold is not an easy job.
It's not.
It's what it, listen,
Mm.
you come out of that hole, you coughing black. It's not easy.
Jeez.
So they have the expertise. So the small scale mining guys that have been doing this, the government should bring the machine, train them. Ghana digs, yes. Instead of this gold mining contract, Ghana is only taking about 10%, 90%. Man, that is a bad deal, man. That is just a bad deal. You're not going to generate revenue from that kind of game. The guys can dig. They can really dig. Right. And so some of these deals is not just good for the country. And so basically it is. Any government comes in order to do anything in Ghana, they have to go get a loan. They have to go get a loan. That's what the thing is set up for.
But the question is, who in Ghana can really bargain with a foreign country person? Confidence. How many people have the confidence to stand? You're about to say something.
Yeah. Well, I heard what you said, right? What actually bothers me more than anything else is, okay, we are using our resources to get all these loans and all that. And let's say we want to do this project, right? They'll get the loan. And they said, we are going to allocate $20 million for the project. We all know they will start, right? They might maybe put, I'll give them a little, I'll say 5 million into it. And then the rest of the money just poof, disappears.
Mhm.
That's what you need, a national agenda, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
I think we are smart enough people to say it doesn't matter who is in office. It doesn't matter who the leader is. It doesn't matter who the party is. Okay. This is the national budget. We have allocated this said money for this project.
Mhm. Mhm.
This is how much we think it's going to cost us. This is how much we have. This is the money. It's here, right? Not specifically in that government's account.
Correct. Yeah.
It's got to be a national thing.
Yeah.
Right? So by tomorrow, if they vote the other guy out, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Because that money you can't touch.
You can't
You know,
touch
that you know.
it. You can't
And
touch it.
you see, here's the thing. Like, no, people have money in Ghana. Listen, I can tell. Let's say Despite. Let's take Despite, right? You can say Despite, Dr. Sapon, get about 3 richest people and say, listen, we'll give you the road from Kumasi to Accra. When you build it, you can put a toll,
Mhm.
right? These guys are business people.
They will do it.
They'll build it.
Yep.
They are business people. They have the savviness.
Yep.
So, and the government will bring some manpower, those kind of things. They can bring the equipment in. The equipment will be duty free. You see what I'm saying? They can develop it. And then if they want to charge 100 Ghana from here to Kumasi, that's 100 Ghana. You're going to pay. That's what it is. It's I'll pay 100 Ghana. I'll pay 100 Ghana. And so these people, the issue with our issue is that the smartest people they don't let them get into politics. You see what I'm saying? They don't let them get in there.
Not to. I think they choose not to, because you said Despite, right?
Corruptible.
Despite himself right now, is he doing well? We all know he's doing well, right? Do you think if he joins politics or he joins to do anything like that, we'll politicize him?
Yep.
At the end of the day, we will politicize him and it will corrupt his business. So I feel like I've realized that a lot of the businessmen, I think someone is driving and
Leslie, mute your mic.
Leslie, if
Yeah.
you can mute your mic, that'll be good. I'll bring you back in. I'll bring you. I muted his mic. Okay. We muted you, so go ahead.
So I believe that what we are saying is good, that we should bring more businessmen, and I believe that they started, but I feel like the mindset of the people, we will politicize these people. I remember Despite did one I think it's a clinic for children, and then the place that they would draw blood and it's a blood bank, right? They started circulating an idea that he's using it for juju.
Well, so, I mean, they'll say that, but at the end of the day, if the road is built, it would. Ghanaians have short-term memory, man. If the road, I'm saying, "Kwai year power, hey, come on, pan wait 2 hours." But you see, so you forget that, you forget that, and so you see, I think I always say this: if the thing with African leaders is like the ego thing. Even sometimes I look at it, I say, listen, for me, it's about progress, right?
Yep.
And you see in the United States here, we've had some dumb presidents, okay? But the business sector is dope with smart people. Those are people that run the country, right? We just make it like, so you have somebody has a contract. You have Minister of Mining, doesn't know jack about mining, right? So you're not going to develop. You see what I'm saying? Care for it. I mean, look at the iron rods. Care for these iron rods. You
know what? When you finish, I have a story. I saw a video online, and that is the point where I realized that, you know what? Forget it. Look, a minister for fisheries has a key, a big key, cardboard key, walking to the sea and telling the sea that she's opening the key to the sea. Oh, geez.
You sure that is not another African country?
Oh, this is Ghana now. I'm telling you, Minister of Fisheries. She was there with all the chiefs and everything. They said they were performing some rites where she was opening the sea so that more fishes or something will come in. Oh, my brother, we are in Africa. There is this CNN, BBC documentary that they did, that the Chinese have those small boats that are fishing around the Gulf, where that little small place where, and they are fishing around that place. So in a way, they've already been able to fish as much. They've harvested enough fishes. So in order for you to compete with that, look at our fishermen, what they use. They are still using those wooden canoes. How can you compete with a Chinese man who has come?
But we have Ghana Navy. Ghana Navy is tough.
Why? Let me tell you another funny story. I think one time a minister or one of the presidents went and commissioned 6 boats, small rigs. The whole president, you go and commission small rigs for the Navy. Hey, I will say,
let me tell you something. Right? Go ahead, Leslie.
So sorry to cut you off, David and Tony, but
man, are you good?
I have a question. Yeah. Why does the president always have to cut the ribbon to like a building, to a hospital, or to a road? Why don't they have mayors, city council members? Why does the president always has to show up?
Remember, he promised you.
Like I don't understand wwhy.
Remember,
it's politics. It's always politics.
Remember, he promised that when he comes, he'll build a toilet.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
this is David, city council level. Yeah. Why is the president commissioning a toilet? I don't get it. Anyway, sorry. It's just something that I.
This is the funniest thing, right? I was talking to people at Labadi, right? They had these stories they were telling me. They said on the ocean, in the midnight, you see this light, this spirit on top of the water. I know who's there. I know who's over there.
Oh my God!
And you can see them. It will come up. The light will disappear. Will go into the water, and then all of a sudden, it will come up.
Come on, man.
And it says Papa Wata and Mami Wata having party on the water. You see, when you believe, I know who is over there. I know who is over there, right? When you believe like that, it's very difficult, man, to move on, because you don't I mean, the Americans, these powerful countries are all over in the ocean. They haven't caught Papa Wata and Mama Wata yet. And you, you know, those boats are people fishing in the nice
Exactly.
Are people fishing offshore all the way over there? And that is the story. They say you don't want to hang out. You come 2, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. They're over there, some light. And I've even heard this. Some people say you can see articulator with 44-footer containers coming out of the ocean. And I said, hey, then you should bring the harbor here. You know, they have diverted the route.
It's sad.
Is we have a long way.
I think we've spoken some good things today. For me, what I would say is one thing we should all learn as Ghanaians is, one, learn how to come together with our differences. Come together with our differences. It is difficult to see as many Ghanaians to coming together to do a business or coming together to support an idea, right, for a cause. You can be a Kufuor, right? You may have all the good ideas, but if your mayor, as Leslie was saying, doesn't even know the job they have to do, how can he enforce them? If the police, you can come in, you could fire as many people, you could change the Bank of Ghana. You see, Bank of Ghana issue, right? Who did they fire? You see, and if you're about to fire, how many pastors will come and beg you? Or how many council people will come and beg you? Don't fire. And then we were complaining, and I want to state something that I have found in our midst. So I realized that the typical Ghanaian man is not always happy when the Ghanaian man is enjoying. And I'll explain this.
Good
So
point.
somebody was taking a video of a Kufuor pulling in, right? And there was a convoy of about, let's say, a lot of Land Cruisers. I agree that the country is not developed. We all agree that. But the idea that we have that if a Kufuor today sells all those convoy and is driving one car can help the economy is wrong. We should fix that mindset and allow people, when they are in their prime, allow them to shine. And then require of them, as you shine, I am requiring from you that perform as you enjoy. That's it. I don't care how you enjoy.
That's the problem.
So today, I was arguing this with someone. They said, oh, if you go to Kolebu, pregnant women are laying on the floor. And I said, yes, you are right. If we sell the Land Cruisers, we can buy some beds. Have you thought about the management of the beds? Have you thought about the nurses we need to employ? Have you thought about the day-to-day activities, right? That comes with it. Yes, you could build a hospital, but it doesn't take building the structure to make a hospital.
Yeah.
There is more that goes in, and especially with you, I know you've been managing buildings, and I've been following your building since, right? Even after the structure is being laid on Kasakrano, now you are about to spend money. So it comes with understanding that at the end of the day, yes, if we want to judge a Kufuor or the president at the time, we should judge him without comparing him to how many cars he drives. Because I can guarantee you, in the United States, they may not tell you, but the president goes around with more than 100 cars. Nobody knows this. Because there are cars that goes before him to survey. And there are cars that comes with him. And the ones that are following. So I'm not comparing our presidency to America, but I'm just saying that in as much, we should just allow whoever is in office to get what they're getting. Now, with the MPs as well, why do they request increase? Look, one of my uncles was an MP. If you go to his house in the morning, our own people have lined up to come for school fees, tuition. This, oh, me ba peso okoye adwuma wa ha obetimi aboa no. So I'm thinking to myself, what is the job of an MP? At the end of the day, if you don't buy these people, they're the same people that will vote you out, even irrespective of the good intentions and the good ideas you have. So I am saying that to help ourselves, we must understand that we ourselves, for Ghana to even rise, can Ghana, I don't know if anybody has watched this movie, Django. There's a part that, what's his name said, DiCaprio, he said, if he was a slave and he was the one shaving his master every morning, and his master has raped his mom or his siblings or whatever, and you're still shaving him the next morning, he'll cut his throat. It's an idea of an uprise. Is Ghana they are afraid to even uprise? Being it peacefully, being it whatever. I am not saying they should go and create war, but I'm just saying that if there is not that significant change, that dynamic change, or that something doesn't move, we will never get to that understanding.
Can I say something? You know, the problem I see, like you said, your uncle being a minister and all these people line up and every day. So you're doing this, right? You're giving them money every day, right? You are the minister of said district. And these people come to you every day. You give them money every day, every day, every day. It's, to me, it's not sustainable, right?
It's not.
Yeah.
Good point.
That little money you're going to give them, use it to try and employ them, right? Let them help themselves. But we don't think that way. We're not thinkers. You know, that's the problem. We think fixing something today will solve the problem. It's not.
I think it would have been better for because if I was an MP in an area, I'll go to the party head and say, do you guys want us to win the election the next time? Yeah. I need this kind of job. I need this in my district. I'm not going to say, give me money, right? Because how much will you give them that is enough? Because you know they will come and add more problems and all kinds of stuff. Plus, you don't want even 10 people showing your house every day. It's a nuisance, right? So I think, you know, and so the thing that sometimes I blame the president in our part of the world for some of this issue is this. Like you said, my building, right? It starts with the head. I don't have incompetent people in the team because you go home. You see what I'm saying? So if you show up, you gonna do the job. And because for me, the progress is more important than body. You see what I'm saying? You take somebody's money, you say you're gonna deliver for them. That is what I care about. So there's no families in the work because now the families have construction experience. Everybody is there, is great at what they do. You see, and someday Akufo-Addo will get some of the people that are the wrong people. So you fire them. You fire them right away. That's the way it should be. If they're not, I would say, guys, this is your DCE. If he's not delivering, we gave him money. That's him. Right? Because he can't see everything. You see what I'm saying? So you have to let people know, okay, this person is responsible for this area. This is how much we pay him. This public contract should be so public. This contract should be public because you have a situation. Because like, you know, they'll say, "Oh, the contractor has been paid. He's not showing up." What is that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean? You know what I'm saying? He should be in jail. You see what I'm saying? If he says the contract, and you see, that is how I run it. And then what is going to happen is that we give you a contract. You're going to show up. You're gonna tell me this and that. And I say, listen, because that is what it should be. So if he's willing to hold people accountable, he'll be a different president that we have not seen. Right. But what it is job for the boys. Job for the boys.
You know, one thing I have two major things I want to talk about.
Sure.
Number one, now that we are on the topic of work, right, and creating work for the people, I want to start from here. The work ethic of the people. Look,
That's
most of us have been fortunate enough to start a business back home, right? So I think early 2000s, I started a business with a friend back home. It's a fishery business. We do the tilapia, we feed the tilapia. Guess what was happening? The people that I remember growing up, they were fishing, that I went back home, I looked at life and they were not progressing. So I'm like, look, I'm setting this business with this guy. You've been fishing for a long time. I remember you used to make money. You know, he makes money today. You know what he does? He goes to his village and marry a young lady and bring back another one. You know, so I went back and this man was not doing what at all, right? So I'm like, look, who hire you? Guess what happened? The people that we hired to take care of the fish, right, at night, they swim and they will come and steal the fish. And they complain that you are paying them whatever you are paying them. I mean, when I was outside, I was going to make that money anyways. But they don't understand the management. And it wasn't that I am somebody that the least thing I will do is I will cheat you with your money. I will pay you what you deserve. But at the end of the day, I realized that they were stealing among themselves. I heard a story at one point where one man was doing a cold store business. He had bought this truck and the driver was stealing the fish. So he said, okay, he'll go and bring another guy to sit next to him.
Hey, to watch
He said, oh, for 3 weeks, it was good. After 3 weeks, he started realizing that they became double reduction. So now it's not one person stealing. So if he was losing 500, now he's losing 10,000. So that's the problem. Honesty. Look, I'm at a point where if you're my father, I will fire you. If you're my mom, I will fire you.
Welcome to the club.
You see, and we have to get people like that to make example. Till today, we all sit here. We have people mismanagement in Ghana. We have NAM1, and I don't want to bring that case up, but we have Bank of Ghana issues. We have individual banks that has been collapsed. Who have you heard has been arrested?
Nobody. No accountability.
No.
At the end of the day, we talk about, oh, it's in court. It's in court. It's the only Ghanaian court that if you don't show up, nobody bothers about it. You know, they say if you are dealing with a rich man, he will not show up. That's all you need to do in Ghana. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, we talked about the mayor, right? My problem is in the United States, right? Every state gets grants from the federal, and then from federal, the state itself generates their own taxes and their revenue, right? And then it goes down to the county. Then the county does it. Then the city does it. Now, I know Ghana has started doing something like that. We have local management. There are things that could have been handled locally with the DCE. The DCE can collect these revenues that they generate from market people, from all these things. At the end of the day, where does the money go to? Does it stay within the district?
Good point.
Some of these little things, the standards are there. We sometimes talk, but the standards are in the books. What does the DCE, what's the job of the DCE? I remember back then, my DCE, it was all girls. Young girls, they come, they know DCE, they're per man. That's all they're doing. The question is who has the courage? Who has the courage to call his DCEs and blast him out and say, look, it is your job to do this and that. I'm not saying come and construct roads, but what measures are you implementing in the district?
What's up?
Some of these things we'll talk about Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo cannot do anything. Mahama would not be able to do anything. These things come below as the DCEs.
And this is what he should be doing.
Uh-huh.
You see, yes. You see, if you can, he can't know everything, but that is why if you have a regional minister, right? They're certainly supposed to. You see, there's a task that this is how I see it, right? If I was president, I would say, okay, the best Ghana presidents we ever had in Nkrumah. That's what I'll say. One. If I become a president in Ghana, my goal is to be the best president Ghana ever had, right? Not the best MPP president or the best NDC president. And Nkrumah has, mountain. You have a mountain to climb. So you have a regional minister. The regional minister has assignment. So you are responsible for this. So Akufo-Addo doesn't have to know everything, right? The regional minister is responsible for this. If it's not happening, you fire him, right? And when you fire him, everybody that works for him goes, right?
Would
And
understand
all
that.
you have to do, just do a couple of that. And then you jail some of them. You see?
Exactly.
And so when you start doing that, because here's the thing, the reason, you see, they know what they should be doing. They know what they're supposed to do, but they're not doing it because they can get away with it. Anybody, but like you said, the pastor and you see, you have this thing. So that is why things are not getting done. But if the regional minister gets the money, say, hey, this is $1 million for
That's it.
XYZ project, you're in charge of that region.
He's
You're in
gone.
charge. You're supposed to enforce the DCE and all those things, right? Kufa doesn't have to deal with that. Do all the micromanaging. It's now 3 months. You have a monthly meeting to see progress. You send a team from your time to go investigate. You have your forensic auditors, right, to go see the progress. And before the regional minister signed, he said any money that's embezzled, 10 years jail time, he will sign. He will sign that before it becomes that. You put him in someone prison. I will start building real prisons with crocodile around them, like real hardcore prisons. That is where they're
You're
going.
right.
When you forget about that. When you start jailing them left and right, they'll be steady. They'll still steal, but at least they're gonna do some of the work.
Supposed to do,
But
yeah.
now they're not doing it. So obviously we have to blame the NADO, right? It's fair and it's unfair, but it's like you're not putting people in jail for stuff.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
Do we know that there's something called Bank of Ghana? We all know that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What they manage is banking institution, transactional institutions in Ghana. Did you know that they had a timely something like a maintenance or scheduled meetings with every bank in Ghana? Did you know that?
I didn't know.
But did you know that most banks that was in Ghana at the time could not meet the minimum capital requirement?
But it's still operating as banks.
Yes. The question is, so if you were the head of Bank of Ghana, every day there is a report that comes to you, right? That tells you that these banks are doing well because your men that goes on the ground are telling you that it's well.
Nope.
Are we going to sit here and act like Ghana we don't forge things?
Yes.
People are in what do you call it? Birth and death certificates right now that if you want a new one, somebody call phone over the phone, they will do it for you.
Yeah.
We are talking about the people that are corrupting Ghana are the people that are yelling, yeah, bro, yeah, bro, yeah, bro. The problem is never usually the minister, because the ministers, that's why they've not been able to arrest them. You know why? Because at the end of the day, to arrest a minister, you go and you realize that his signature is the one on the check. But usually it's not him. It's the civil servants that are doing us this justice or whatever we call it. At the end of the day, I want us to understand that, look, if you put a mindset person like me, if I'm the DCE, so I want us to give a little props to the Accra regional minister.
So
The job
he's
he's
doing
doing.
his job. Kote is doing his job.
He's working the places. So my question is, so Accra regional minister is going places. Where is the rest of the ministers? And
But you know what he said, right? You know what he said last week?
oh yeah,
You know
the
what he
one
said?
in the meeting.
Yeah,
That he said their own people.
His own people. The party
Exactly.
people are pressure. You see, this is how you beat a system. If I was the president, this is what I'll do. I'll tell you this. All the financial institution, I'll go find a third party country that I'm going to put software in all the systems and be spying on them. I'll use the word spy. So they can be cooking all the books they want. It's going to be foreign. And I'll pay, if I have to pay some expertise from outside to be, because I know they'll be cooking the numbers.
Oh yeah, they cook.
They'll be cooking the numbers. So I have a foreign entity pay them a lot of money, and they'll be running to see what numbers they're cooking out, right? Because they're coming from the field to say everything looks great, right? And so, and every system, the finance system is going to be, will have to. So if you open a bank, you have to use this software.
Mhm.
You have to use this software. And we find out in someone prison, 15 years. 15 years. I'm telling you, you got to start jail. If I was a Kufuado, every day I'll have a report present to me at 6 a.m. to see who's going to jail today. Right?
No,
And
you're right.
I'll keep jailing them every day. Hard labor, till you put somebody in there who doesn't like to go to jail.
But Tony,
You think
it's
that's gonna
not going
work?
to happen.
Wait, you think that's gonna
It's
work?
not happening.
It's
Just
not
for the
gonna happen.
boys.
Because they put him as president.
No.
Well,
If you go to the Eastern region, I'm the one that forced. I did the whole thing for you.
that's the what we got.
I don't want to lose power.
No,
Well-
but listen. So you think you're gonna what? You're gonna start putting people in jail 15 years? You think it's gonna? Where do you think you're at, man? You or something? What kind of? Are you guys okay? Bro, that's the easiest way for you to get a person
To do what?
have
To
a
do
coup,
what?
have a coup.
No.
Yeah, you
No.
listen.
Hey, yeah, Rwanda. You know what Kagame is doing?
Listen.
They in line. You know what Kagame is doing? That's exactly what he's doing.
This is
That is why you don't see the people in parliament. There was during the COVID, there was a minister in Rwanda, right? Who was going to a mall. I don't know if you guys saw the report. He was going to a mall, and there's a security lady who was telling them, because when you go into the mall, there's a place that you enter and you exit, right? And so the lady was, no, you can't come here. And he think he's a minister. He shoved the woman. The next day, he resigned and apologized. He resigned because Kagame don't play.
You know what's happening in Ghana? Forget
That because we don't have a man. That's the problem.
No, because everyone's trying to eat, man. Everyone's hungry.
No, because when you have a man, there's order.
No,
There's order.
listen,
I'm
no.
telling you, there's no order.
This is
Because-
listen.
Yeah, well,
Where is money around? There's corruption. Okay, anytime whenever there's money dealing going on, there's corruption going on. You will never ever be able to stop corruption for 100%. Even in China, there's still strict rules.
No, even here, there's corruption.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
still no like fraud. And people are still stealing money and stuff like that.
no, but you get caught. And you see Ghana, they get caught, and Jalamin pay big money and Kofi. You know how it is.
Because that's just how it is. It's not gonna change. So get over it.
No, man, they should put me for 6 months, man. Ooh.
I think we are all saying exactly the same thing. All I want to say is we need people, and I know people talk about Kwame Nkrumah being the greatest president, and he put in some measures. He wasn't perfect.
But look what
He made some mistakes.
Mhm.
It's the same thing with our presidents that have come. One time Kufuor was saying something, and people misunderstood what he said. It was very peculiar. He said during Nkrumah time, right? He said we want independence now, right? But if you take the governance from the people that understood governance, and then you hand it over to, and Nkrumah was a man that came and studied in the United States. He has dealt with those at the time racism and supported Dr. Martin Luther King and those time when they were trying to fight for rights, right? So he had a different level of understanding. Now you're coming locally to manage people who haven't seen anything, haven't managed anything, right? And then at a time when we kick these people out, management, it is a difficult thing. Look, till today, what you're saying about firing people, you need to get to a level of understanding to say, I am firing you without emotions and sentiments. You know why? Because you're thinking not just today. You're thinking that if I don't fire him, he will mess the system up that is not going to be solved today, because that road that did not get constructed, my car will drive on it. Your car will drive on it. You could possibly die on that same road that someone's negligence, whether you're the president or you're not, you could die on that same road.
Yep.
If we begin
Good
to
point.
understand the max, how we cause damage and the damage turns around and come back to us, I believe some of these things we can solve it.
Well, that'll be 1,000 years, because no, because sometimes that's what, if a leader is waiting for the followers to agree with a plan, the leader will probably die before
That is
the
true.
people, right? So at a certain point, you see, here's the thing with the Ghanaians, like when we were saying, if Despite started building the road, right, the hospital thing, but once they finish building the road, that's not why, so you have to tune off, right? You have to tune off and deliver, because when you deliver, the very people that were accusing you of all kinds of stuff will say, oh my God, he's all saying stuff. I've seen that happen to me before, right? So the thing is that they must understand you have maybe 4 years, 8 years to be impactful, right? That 4 years, let's say 4 years, what is it that you are going to do? Let's say you don't win the election, that you are, when we call the history books, they can say this person deliver on this particular issue for us, right? And when the progress, you see, you have to winning is so important to certain people that they might even go work with all kinds of people they don't like, but they want to accomplish the goal, right? It's so designed. The party manifesto, listen, when I have to succeed, I don't care about body. It's irrelevant. If you can produce, we roll. We roll, because we're trying to get from A to B. That is what I care about. And if you can't produce, you're my mom, you're my aunt, you gotta go. It's not personal, right? So Nanado has to let these people know, listen, Nanado, maybe those ministers, DC, don't care. They just want to fill the pocket, but people voted for him. I have to deliver. And you are regional minister. This is your budget. This is the expectation. You send people to go to check on the progress, right? The same will work here. They check on progress and they come and report to you the progress, because if he comes with fictitious document, he also going to jail, right? so he goes and check on the project. So if something doesn't happen, Nanado doesn't have to deal with some stupid DC, someplace he never heard about. You fire the regional minister, that means everybody under him goes. You place him with another one, right? And like that, then you send a couple of people to jail, because every day they got to jail some of them, right? And then they see them carrying like a beanie on the street. Hey, Minister Pan, they carry beanie, right? You start doing that, then people will fall in line. That's what Kagame did. Kagame don't play.
It's a pipe dream. They will never do that in Ghana.
You see, if you don't do that, then it's going to be job for the boys.
But I think when we say it is going to happen one of these days, right? But I've seen a couple of guys that wanted to go into politics. They went back. They left here, and I've listened to a couple of guys that went.
Julian.
Yes, they spoke the big English. They've done the big things. My brother, we will bring you into power for you to make the change. You get the point.
Sure.
I wish we could just get up and say today we are going in power and make changes. You can't. That's why I was telling you that you will be there selling Bentia and things to people. You'll be giving donations, and you have to do it. At the end of the day, you have to be corrupt to get even into politics.
That's what I'm saying. It's a dirty game, bro.
Well,
so at
and
the
then
end of the day,
once you get in there, sometimes you play the game.
Listen,
But once you get to the top, you have leverage.
Listen.
so you've paid your way in. The guy is going to say you've paid your way in.
And then you got
And
told
then you see, I get the point.
Or
I
you
wish,
take it over. Or you take it over.
I mean,
That's what you take over. Listen, the people that gonna vote for you and you take it over, I mean, you can do it.
They will sabotage you.
They'll
They will
kill you.
sabotage all the ideas you have.
No,
Listen,
well,
I've
you do what
listened-
Kagame did. You will be out of the country.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. What if people become corrupt? Simple, because I think there's two things in here. There's poverty involved in this thing, but at the same time, I think poverty plays a big role. You know what I'm saying? Because when people don't see money before, and they're like, Charlie, you know what I'm saying? We see something the first time, we gotta take as much as we can, because we might not see this again. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of understand the mindset, because like, man, you never had anything. You see all this money, you're gonna fill your pockets, and you want my kids to fill my pocket. You know what I'm saying? So that's there, okay. So when you have people that don't have money in politics, that's a bad scenario. You know what I'm saying? Because they have more of a need to take than the person that has a lot of money already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if you didn't know that, listen, I used to work at a bank. I saw money.
Yeah, but you work
Like-
at the bank though. Listen, you
No, but I'm saying because your ass gonna go to jail.
I know, but listen.
So if your ass gonna go to jail, if you work
I
at a
think
jewelry
you
store,
like jail. You like jail.
If you work at a jewelry store and you see $100 chains, 200,000, stuff like that, and you've never seen jewelry, so you gonna start stealing?
It happens all the time. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Then
I think he
well,
has
if
a
you get
point.
caught.
Even at
No. You see, he has a point. I think we should address what he's saying.
Listen,
When you have a poor mindset
you can't do anything.
and you have poverty in you, right? Your thinking is different.
Exactly.
You see, there are people that they're not rich, but they don't have a poor mindset. You see, they are content with whatever they make. You say you work at the bank. I'm pretty sure you don't take home $2 million,
No.
but you are content with what you had. But there is a poor mindset with a poor character, right? And as level as where they are poor in money, right? To the point that they will steal anything their hands can touch.
Yeah. Man.
So
You
then
see,
what do
that's-
you do then? So then what do you
At
do?
that
You let it
point-
go? You let it go?
And no, we are not saying that. But you see, how many people are leading Ghana right now? Those who are leading Ghana to make deals and all that, do they even have that level of exposure to even make deals for Ghana? Have we ever asked ourselves, we say Jolly Ghana has built a Terminal 2. What's the interest rate for the loan that we took?
Well, the thing that I'm worried
Some
about
of
is
these
this,
things,
right?
have we asked these questions? Like,
Well-
who went and made those deals for us? Sometimes, one time, they said tariffs, right? They were trying to get electricity from this company. And the charge that was coming, it was like 16 cents per wattage. And it's a kilowatt or something, And I'm thinking to myself, another deal came and the deal was like maybe 10 or 12 or something. And I'm like, how is it that somebody was able to bargain their way to get it like 8 or 10? But then the government also went and they said they got 16. Like some of these things.
It's probably 10. They have 6 kickbacks.
Oh, yeah, of course. They added some things to it. So for me, I am saying that we may talk about change. We should be the change that we talk about. When I go back home, when I see something wrong, I don't care if you're the minister. I don't care because you don't feed me, right? I will let you know respectfully what it is. We walk into the bank. I've walked into the bank. I was in line because I was wearing chalwati. And I was going to Accra to do a concert, going to buy iron rods. I was in line. And in the bank, we were there. This big guy with the big belly came with some briefcase. The guy came and passed the whole line. And then the teller told the guy that was currently standing there, catch a not maybe. And then we were in line.
It's true.
So
man.
that is where I was like, yo, in the bank. And then everybody started looking at me. I'm like, what the heck is going on, right?
I think why?
Must
And
have
then-
been I won't.
I feel that and go free her, Then I realized that. And then some lady walked from the back. I think she's assistant bank manager. She's like, why are you making noise? Why? I'm like, we're in line. We're trying to make this and right? Why did he cut us? Oh, because these people, they bring some huge amount of money. And I said, you know what? Give me all my money in the bank right now. Give me all my money in the bank. Okay. And then the lady went to the back, checked my account. She came back. Oh, we can't give you such an amount. You have to go to Accra Central and it has to be ordered a day before.
What?
And I told her that I'm wearing chalwate. Look at the way I'm dressed. But these are the people in the bank that sustain your bank.
That's right.
We must learn some. You see, all these things I'm saying, right? It's not the DCE. It's the people.
It's the culture.
Exactly.
Good point.
Who said, sir? Who said, sir, or your opinion, you know, get the suitcase and you could skip the line. What is the guarantee that you have more money than me?
Yeah.
You see, and it's not about money. It's about respect. It's about the standard. Can we keep the standard? If this person is as important as the bank wishes, create a back door for him. Let him go through the back door. Right? I mean, he's that important. Go to the back door, get your money in. So
maybe it was his stomach. Your stomach is too small.
Of course, I mean, I have to build the stomach. At this point, I needed some thinking, you know. So we should, I believe that we are trying to find this talking. We're trying to find a better way to speak to as many people through your channel, those who will listen to this video. We're trying to make everybody understand that it's the mindset. If as little as everybody can start, if we can believe in ourselves, if we can believe in the young ones coming, the teacher himself, if a teacher can walk 4 miles to school, 5 miles, he's tired. He will take a cane and whip the whole school for just angry because his paycheck.
Great points.
No, but
That's good.
But,
Go ahead, wrap it up.
the corruption starts as small kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like they start young, man. It's like all the time is joking, man. It's like they learn this stuff very young.
Culture.
I think in that type of behavior, it's very hard to
can't change it.
So the thing you can do is this guy's a tough punishment, but that's
I've been saying that the whole
no,
time.
but listen. The people that are dishing the punishment are the people doing the crime. So it doesn't work out. You know what I'm saying? You can't be putting people in jail for fraud when you're doing fraud too. You know, you get what I'm saying? The people that are ruling for doing the right thing, then yeah, you can then think, okay, the people are doing the right thing, so the people are gonna budge into it. No, Akufo-Addo is not skipping the line. He's sitting in line like everyone else. Like, you know, if everyone's doing, like, if the leaders are doing the right thing, people will follow. But the leaders are doing corruption. Then what do you expect the people that don't have anything to do?
We'll pray.
I don't know if you've seen this, but there's this thing they are doing. The MTTD is doing in Accra. They arresting people, drivers that don't obey the rules, and usually, you know, the people they catch.
Yeah, you seen it, right? It's like public officials, MPs, and all those things.
Yeah,
MPs, ministers, what do you call it? The police,
pastors.
It's just the people that are supposed to enforce, the people that are supposed to make the laws
are not
doing it.
So what do you think?
So, to me, right? There was another video that was circulating when there was a fire somewhere, and then the fire department head drove in a taxi and went to the place that the place is burning. And then they made video on it like, hey, 85 service, who the taxi now? You brought a taxi.
A grenade, though.
With the fire extinguisher. Okay, the fire extinguisher. A taxi in the fire extinguisher. For me, what I'm saying is, the president, at a point, cannot go and drive. There was one time they were using an ambulance that has been bought to service a locality near the Fascement. Does Akufo-Addo need to come and do that? Like sometimes, some of these things, right? You can do anything you want. a police that is drunk with a gun, with an AK-47 in your hand. You are drunk. And like some of these things, I want us to understand that you would. So who starts? Who
The top.
starts?
Not the top. It starts from the top, not us.
So the question is, can we put competent people?
No.
Can we find competent people like Accra Regional Minister that goes around on camera? I don't know what he does in his quiet place, but I'm just saying that the little I've seen, the man is working.
Yep. But you know what is interesting about that? I've been waiting. I've not seen the years. Maybe Nanado has done it. But I think if I was the president, I said, this is a minister. This is a regional minister. That's what this is what we're trying to make people do, right?
Yeah.
But he can't say that because even within his own party, people don't like the guy. He said, Oh, so my thing is this: when you surround yourself with incompetent people, you cannot say you are competent. You see, at a certain point, right? If we have at least a Kufuor's core team is like Mr. Korte, that at least we will say, okay, it is the other people way over there. Right? They're the ones way over there doing that stuff. But when around the circle, you have people who are not doing what they need to do. You know, Dan Perry has been in police for a long time. He's been there. And he has been the same guy. The same guy.
We know.
They know who he was. They know him.
Know it.
But for reason job for the boys, they have not given the IGP position.
Mm-hmm.
Now they brought him a few weeks. It looks like Jesus just came to the country. But he's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
And they knew that he didn't take bribe. He doesn't do those things. They know. You see, so at a certain point for me, yeah, find something for the boys to do. But at a certain point, if it's about accomplishment and legacy, you're going to bring some team around you, people that are going to deliver something. And if you're not going to deliver, then it's like, you know.
But this is the thing you understand. You said that they're not competent. I don't think it's about being competent. What I think what's happening is that these people are coming for an agenda. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can hire someone that knows all the book from back and front. They know all the rules, and they're gonna still break the rules because they're trying to pull the pocket. You know what I'm saying? If you have that idea in your mind, like it's like a doctor coming to make money. Okay, you're gonna do surgery here, surgery there. They're gonna always be wanting, not gonna look for your best interest. They're gonna want to always make money. You know what I'm saying? They're coming. They don't come to medical because they want to help people. They come for it because they want to make money. So it's like a business. You know what I'm saying? So when you have people that are coming to steal, bro, that's the whole agenda is to. So I don't think that it's not like it's on accident or they don't know any better. They know better, but they just come in. They came here for a reason. That was the plan from the beginning, was to come and take money. So you have that kind of person inside your ranks. No matter what you do, you can put all the strictest rules. They will find ways.
So you know, people. Yes, you're always gonna have people that will break the law. Or they will not do what they're supposed to do. That is what jail is for. That is what punishment is for. So I don't have listen, when people come on the team, listen, Julian, when people come on the team, I don't tell them don't steal materials. Don't do this. I don't tell them all that. If you want to steal the materials, if you want to do all that stuff and see what's gonna happen.
Listen, but you said that's what jail.
I want to say something to the materials thing you're saying. Look, one time people stole something from my site. My dad found ways and went to the police station. He knew who stole it, and they told the police. The police said, "What's your mobra?" The police told my dad to go and arrest those people and bring the guy. He did. He went and arrested them, brought them to the police station. 2 days later, they called him and they told my dad, said, "Oh, if he doesn't bring them food, they will let them go because they don't feed them." And these things I'm telling you, I'm not shy. I tell the truth as it is. It's in Akosombo. That's where I'm from, right? The people were let go. They were let go at the time because They couldn't feed them. They said one was sick and all that, and then after that they let him go.
Hey, Sim.
All I want to say is in
Oh,
Ghana.
yeah.
Oh, now Momo is Kakura. They
No,
don't.
no, I'm saying the guys, when we pick them up, they rectified.
What?
Because if the police wouldn't do it, will be our police. They will fix it.
Apparently, the
They'll fix
people have been still in the area. They are tired,
Yeah,
so it's like they do it, and then it's like you have to let them go. It's like there is a sense of work. I don't know the English word. We disregard standards and things. It's like
there's no rules.
There's rules. They're not being followed.
They're not being followed.
All right, this is good. We can continue behind the scenes, guys. Thank you very much. We don't want this to be too long, David. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Leslie, also. And then